Hello and welcome back to Near Dark Podcast, episode 38, with me, Angel, Josef, and Ogge. Today we're gonna talk about Valentine from 2001, but before we do that, let's check out how Crew's doing. How are you doing, Ogge?
I'm doing just fine.
Good,
How are you
good.
doing?
How are you doing, Joseph?
Same as Ogge.
Okay. And moi, the leader of the episode, is also doing good. Okay. So let's run the synopsis.
We got a trailer first.
Fuck the trailer.
No. You
Yes.
you always say fuck the trailers. You always forget the trailer.
Oh yeah, that's true. Okay, so
But
let's run the trailer.
here is the trailer for Valentine 2001.
He loves me.
Spend this Valentine's Day
He loves me not.
with someone you love,
He loves me.
someone you trust,
He loves me not.
and someone you know
He loves me.
won't try to kill you.
Will you dance with me? Dance with me? Dance with me?
Remember the kid everybody ignored on Valentine's Day?
Loser.
Well, he remembers you.
God, we were so horrible to that kid.
What do you think happened to him? Hello? Stay away from me. Valentine.
Kate, Paige, Dorothy, Lily, and Shelley has been friends since junior school, and all of them has the same dream of the perfect man and the perfect future. On Valentine's Day, however, someone starts to send them creepy Valentine's cards with threats of impending death, which they are at first just dismiss as sick jokes, but they soon discover that the threats are very real when a Cupid masked psychopath starts to kill them off one by one and anyone who gets in the way. Who is the ruthless killer? What is his motive? Does it have to do anything with the young boy the girls refused to dance with and whom they participated in humiliating on Valentine's Day party in the middle school? That's a lot, right? So okay, hit it off. What do you think about the movie?
I didn't like it at all. Everything I don't like about slasher movies, this has it. It's
Ooh.
slow, the kill sucks. Killer-
There's a reason for that, but I'll come back to it a little bit later.
Yeah, the killer sucked. The acting was average at best. Yeah, I got bored watching it.
Yeah, I understand.
This is like a 2 out of 10 for me.
No?
Wow.
What about you, Joseph?
Well, I had seen Valentine 2 times earlier, and from what I remember, I actually liked it during those viewings. So I don't know if I was in a bad mood or whatever it was, but I had a really hard time getting through it this time around. I would actually disagree with you, Ogge. I think the movie got a pretty solid cast. I think it's pretty well acted. But I do think that the characters are unlikable, on the other hand. But I come back to that in a bit. let's see here. What have I written down? Denise Richards is always easy on the eye, so to speak. And I think the killer is his appearance is excuse me, is pretty creepy with a Cupid mask, and I have always thought that that kind of mask is kind of creepy. So
Yeah, I can agree. It's kind of. It kind of
it just
reminds
looks
me.
soulless, if that makes any sense.
It kind of reminds me of that one that we watched. She dies over and over.
Oh, come on, Happy Death Day.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of that mask, and masks like that.
Yeah.
I do agree, they're creepy. I prefer like Jason or Myers mask because they don't look so soulless. But these masks are just no. Please no.
Yeah, Jason is really sexy in part 7.
I mean, yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
Jesus. And the movie also got some pretty ludicrous suspense scenes, which I really enjoy. For example, the one at the beginning with Catherine Heigl, I think her last name is, when the killer has undressed and laid down on the autopsy table and almost lets her cut him before he moves just to scare her. I mean, it really doesn't make any sense.
Right there, we have clear signs of this is an actual psychopath.
Well,
Like,
you
he goes into
you,
that extent.
you gotta suspend some pretty big disbelief to even accept that scene. If you think, if you start to think about it, it just falls apart. But the scenes like that, they're one of the reasons why I like slasher flicks. So, but yeah, but even though the movie got all of that, I didn't enjoy it this time around. The biggest problem I think the movie has is its pacing, and the fact that the girls you follow around through the entire movie are snobby and rich, unlikable characters, who I, honest to God, couldn't care less if they lived or died. And sure, there are murders strewn out throughout the movie, but since I don't have the uncut version of the movie, which was released by Scream Factory a year or two ago on Blu-ray, I just find the majority of them pretty boring and very tame, since you don't get to see much of them, really. Also, the identity of the killer couldn't have been more obvious even at my first watch of the movie, unless they had hung a neon sign around his neck and a big rubber finger over his head, which, they takes the suspense out completely, at least for me.
Really? Because I was watching it with a friend, and after we said night and everything, 'cause it was 5 in the fucking morning for me, he asked, like, he didn't really like why, or like, who is the killer? We didn't get it at all. He suspected, the witness to the humiliation, but yeah, it's like,
So you didn't understand who the killer was?
no, not at all. Cause some scenes his nose bled, some scenes it didn't bleed.
He did bleed from his nose after every kill.
You did?
Yeah.
Well, we didn't. Okay, then we probably didn't pay attention enough.
Well, I've seen the movie 3 times, so I should know.
Oh yeah, you should know.
We can come back later to the killer's identity. But, yeah. I don't hate Valentine, but I think it's a one-time watch. Or a movie you can watch once every 10, 15 years or so.
Yeah, like when you have completely forgot about everything about it.
Yeah. And it came out at the tail end of the second slasher boom, which started, of course, with Wes Craven's Scream back in 1996. And it shows and it feels.
Yeah.
I will give it a 6 out of 10.
Disappointed.
What did you think about it, Adrian?
Yeah, I was just about to pick it up. I thought it was very, very, very boring. Nothing to write home about. Didn't find any of the kills particularly interesting. The only thing I really found kind of funny was, I don't remember which one of them. I think it was Kate. She goes out in a towel because the elevator is playing and her neighbor comes out.
Yeah.
I kind of found that one a little bit funny.
He does those rhymes in each and every sentence.
Yeah, it's like, okay, it's kind of annoying that he keeps on rhyming, but just there and then, it did make me chuckle a little bit. And like, the guy who plays Adam, David Brianos, I've seen him in
David
a different...
Bolognese.
I've seen him in 3 different shows.
Yeah.
Prior to this, and I have such a crush on him. He's a good actor and everything, and hot damn, he is hot. So yeah, like that was kind of like, yeah.
He doesn't have that much to do in this movie.
No, exactly. It's like you can barely, you can barely. Yeah, altogether maybe he has 15 minutes on screen, barely that. That's pretty. Yeah.
There's a reason for that.
Yeah. But honestly, like, anytime he was on the screen, I was like, I don't care what's happening in the movie. There's a hot guy here. No, so, except that, it's like, I thought it was very boring. You can't relate to the stuck-up rich bitches. Sorry, not sorry, someone had to say it. But yeah.
I said they were snobby and rich, unlikable.
Yeah, but you didn't say that we're stuck up.
No. I actually didn't think about it.
Yeah, no, that's kind of how I felt about it. The acting is half-assed. It's just like, nah, I didn't like it. It's a 1 out of 10. It's nothing I will recommend anyone. It's nothing I will rewatch ever. Unless I actually forget about the movie and then like, oh hey, this movie sounds interesting. That's happened all too many times.
Harsh.
I'm very harsh, yes.
Okay, so, Ogge, did you finger the killer?
I kinda did. Like, he was the one I suspected all along. So.
Yeah.
So yeah, in a way I did.
There's a thumb rule for slasher flicks, at least who done it slasher flicks, and that is if there's a big name star in the cast and they aren't really that much in the movie, they are in 9 out of 10 cases the killer.
No.
Yes.
No, my heart. He's always played such wholesome and nice people in the things I've watched.
Yeah, but those girls sort of deserved it. Perhaps not getting murdered, but you know.
Yeah.
It's sort of like with Kenny in Terror Train.
Oh yeah, but it's like, okay, I can understand, like, if you do not feel like dancing with someone, yeah, say no, because you are not obligated to do it, but you don't need to humiliate someone and be a big massive dick.
Yeah.
It's just like, no, I'm not interested. That's just fine. And I think Dorothy, as the fat kid, me myself also have been the fat kid for all the years. Like, yeah, she gets some kind of attention even if it's from the loser. So yeah, of course she's gonna agree to dance with him. Then that she's a fucking bitch, well, that's just sad.
I did like the part when they were in the club where there was like screens everywhere talking.
Oh, that was so
And-
creepy.
There was a... The fuck is it called?
Was a showing of art.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and
An
then when
art
everything
show.
started, yeah, and then when everything started glitching out and they were talking to her, that was pretty creepy.
Oh, that was creepy.
Yeah, but then they kind of fucked it up with the killer, with that mask and that bow, and he shoots like 3 hours and 3 arrows and she barely dies. She's like, "Ah." And then she like falls down, so the arrow doesn't even kill her; it's the fall, and he never uses it again. It's like the killer knew, like this was shit.
Honestly, I thought that was kind of amusing. Just like, you know what? I'm gonna do something new, something that not a lot of killer has done, and it's so ineffective. It's like, come on.
Did you guys, by the way, think about how the girls died in the movie?
The only two I can really think about is the one that got stuck in the hot tub. We were actually discussing this while watching. I thought it was a fun idea until it takes out the drill and gets frustrated.
That's Denise Richards, by the way.
Yeah,
Uh,
I agree.
Uh,
That's not a bad
honestly,
kill
the-
though.
The one I really, really liked when she died was the one that he slams her head on this like broken glass piece. That was,
Yeah.
that was the only kill that was decently good.
I think that was the only kill that they didn't censor that much in the first, well, in the releases up until the Scream Factory Blu-ray.
Yeah.
And just to explain, Scream Factory is a company that puts out horror movies, and you got also Arrow, 88 Films, Shout Factory, and so on and so on. They put out old horror action, and I think Arrow also releases comedies and the dramas and so on. But Scream Factory is one of the best companies that puts out older horror movies, basically.
Yeah.
And they dug up the censored stuff in Valentine and put it on a Blu-ray. I have, however, heard that the fully uncut scenes aren't, nothing to jump for joy about. From what I've heard, they're sort of like, okay, that's it. I haven't seen them myself, so I can't say that for a fact, but that's what I've heard at least. But yeah, how the girls get killed. In the beginning of the movie, when I can't even remember his name now, Jeremy or whatever he was called, that nerd kid.
JM.
yeah.
Something with JM.
Yeah, I think it was Jeremy.
Jeremy.
Yeah, whatever. When he asked the girls if they wanted to dance, they gave him an answer like, I can't remember which one of them who says it, but she says something like "over my dead body" or something like that, and her death scene is getting her throat slit in a body bag.
Mm.
What they said became quote unquote reality, or whatever you want to call it. What did you guys think of the poems of the cards?
Some of them was actually fairly good. Can't really remember anyone by heart, but oh yeah, the one with the chocolate and the maggots.
Yeah.
Fucking
that was
disgusting.
pretty creepy. Like disgusting.
I've actually written down 2 of the poems that they get in the movie. The first one is, "Roses are red, violets are blue. They'll need dental records to identify you." Jesus.
Oh, that one was actually really, really good.
I really I really like that one. And the second one I have written down is, "The journey of love is an arduous trek. My love grows for you as you bleed from your neck." To be honest, these poems reminded me of the poems in the original My Bloody Valentine.
Yeah, no, I can see that.
I can't remember how the poem goes in My Bloody Valentine. Roses are red, violets are blue. One is dead and so are you.
Yeah, something like that.
The old lady get that poem on the heart box.
So, do you think it's time to actually talk about the killer?
Yeah, well,
Because I think we picked apart most of the things.
come again. I didn't hear what you said.
Oh, sorry.
My fucking...
Because I think we have talked about most of the movie.
Yeah, well, spoiler alert for those who haven't seen the movie.
Yeah.
Why are you listening to this? Go and watch the movie if you are interested in it.
Pause the clip, go watch the movie, come back, unpause it, or even better, rewatch or re-listen to everything. So yeah, the twist, like when they fumble down the stairs and everything, it's like one of them should have broken their neck. It's like you don't fumble down stairs like that, or more like tumble down stairs like that without breaking your neck or something else. And my friend
It's
said,
plot armor.
"Oh, well, that's true." And my friend said, "Dorothy, why?" And I was like, "What the fuck?" When they unmask her, because I actually did think, "Oh, she's the killer," because that's how oblivious I am.
No, she wasn't. She was just framed. Like she framed Jeremy.
Mm.
Uh-huh.
The plot thickens.
Yeah. But yeah, the killer is, of course, David Bolognese character. What was his name again? Adam.
Adam.
Yeah, Adam.
And
Yeah.
David Branes. Something like that.
Bolognese.
Shut the fuck up. Don't bully my beautiful man here.
But I can actually agree with you, Adil, on that David is a very talented actor.
He is. I
He
mean,
is very good.
For those who knows the series, he was in Buffy the Vampire Slayer and the spin-off series Angel, where he is the main character.
Yeah.
And in Bones. And he always, like, for me at least, he always performs really, really, really well. Like, even when he was younger in the Buffy series.
I've only seen him in a handful of episodes of Angel, but I think I've seen him in something else as well. But yeah, I really like him as an actor.
Yeah, I say like this. I recommend everyone to watch Bones, Angel, and Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Sure, it's old, but it's still pretty good.
All this usually good.
Yeah.
Well, that is fair, yeah. Yeah.
What do you guys think happened after the camera shut off?
I think he killed her.
Yeah, most likely. Because, I don't know. It doesn't feel like he would continue on dating her. It does feel like he would just, like, finish the job and then that's that. Make it look like an accident.
Yeah. Well, she said maybe later to him at the dance. So perhaps he chose to murder her later.
That's
I
true.
don't know. That's why I ask. What do you guys think?
Could be some weird way of like trying to get a chance with her or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not impossible that, well, she said later that he accepted it as being later and that the fact that they are dating, they have been dating, is later, meaning that he did get what he wanted.
Yeah.
There are two possibilities, that he isn't gonna kill her or that he is gonna kill her.
Yeah. But there's a scream just at the end, well, just before the credits start to roll. So that's why I asked.
Did not notice that, then he probably killed her.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, she lived through the trauma that all her friends dies around her. She finds all these dead bodies everywhere of her friends, and she thinks Dorothy is the killer. So he regains her trust, and yeah. That might actually be the worst thing to do, like someone you really, really trust and someone you have been in a relationship with is the one to end your life. I don't think it's too much to talk about in this movie.
No, there isn't much to say about it really. I think we've gone through most of it.
Yeah, and without actually completely picking
I'm-
apart. Yeah.
Joseph, I heard you said something about like if we noticed how they died.
Yeah.
Like I was wondering if their deaths were foreshadowed, maybe in the letters or something they said to him. Because everybody said something like, "I'd rather drown than dance with you," or something like that.
Yeah, that was what I meant.
Yeah.
What they said to him at the dance were a foreshadowing what would happen later in the movie when they got killed.
Ah.
I think one of the girls says, "I'd rather die" or something like that. Can't remember. I was zooming out most of the running time.
Yeah. Yeah, same here. But now that you mentioned it, I figured maybe they were foreshadowed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Shall we go into background, perhaps?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This will be a short one.
So, who wants to start?
Well, I was thinking that you guys could go first, and then I'll jump in at the end with the snippet from the review I've found.
Okay, do you
I can
want
go
to start?
first. Yeah.
Good.
Catherine Hegel had only 3 days to shoot her scenes, which is why she only had 10 minutes of screen time, despite getting top billing as part of the cast. She was already committed to the TV series Roswell. She also disowned the film, claiming that she hates it. I agree. She didn't read it. She didn't read the whole script before accepting her role. The only scenes containing her character. In a 2005 magazine interview, she said she regretted the decision to appear in the film after seeing the final cut of it. This isn't the first time she's disowned a film. She also disowned the 2000 Knocked Up from 2005 and
2007.
2007 and Roswell in 2008. After that, she got a reputation of being hard to work with. Denise Richards and Catherine Hegel have the least screen time out of the 5 lead women, but are the first ones to be credited. Many publications incorrectly stated that the film's budget was in the mid $20 million range. The actual budget was around $10 million, which necessitated shooting a majority of the film in Canada. That's all I have.
Yep.
Okay. 3 years prior to Valentine, director Jamie Blanks directed to the way superior slasher flick Urban Legend. He went on to direct Storm Warning in 2007 and hasn't directed anything since 2008. He has, however, been working as a composer the last 10 years for different productions. Jamie Blanks was inspired by Jack Sholder's film Alone in the Dark from 1982 for the killer's bloody nose gag. Marley Shelton Katie went to appear in the Tarantino Rodriguez project Grindhouse in 2007, Scream 4 in 2011, and the Dwayne Johnson giant monster action flick Rampage in 2018. Jessica Caulfield Lilly was cast in the film after her work in Urban Legend, Final Cut from 2000, the sequel to Jamie Blank's Urban Legend. She went on to appear in mostly comedies such as the Legally Blonde movies, You Stupid Man with Denise Richards and Mila Jovovich.
Mila Jovovich.
Yeah, exactly. And Dwayne comedy White Chicks in 2004. David Boreanaz Adam shot his entire character role in less than 2 weeks. That's everything I got.
Yeah. I was searching around a little bit earlier today, and I actually stumbled upon a review in the New York Times from February the 3rd, 2001 by one Elvis Mitchell, and I picked out a snippet from that review, and it goes like this. Valentine seems insulting after what now seems like centuries of watching nubile targets scream and flee. Or is it flee and scream? The cast of this movie barely existed when Halloween gave these movies a new lease on life 23 years ago, so some credit should be given to them for enduring the silent, impervious to pain, marauding murderer bit. The actresses aren't bad, with the exception of Miss Richards. whose awakened, smiley demeanor seems more suited to someone unveiling a refrigerator freezer on The Price is Right. Probably the biggest victim of Valentine besides the audience is David Bolognese, who steps away from his small screen sensitive vampire role in Angel to play Adam, Kate's well-meaning alcoholic boyfriend, who, like Angel, has a fluid abuse problem. The worst kind of mystery is one in which nobody cares who the killer is. Even the cast of Valentine doesn't seem that concerned, and their fictional lives are at stake. When it's hard to hear the dialogue because the audience is laughing, it's clear that Valentine doesn't even succeed on its own limited terms. The movie starts off with a Warner Brothers logo tinted red. Sure, red is the color of blood. But it also means stop, and we can only hope that the makers of Valentine will take the hint. Harsh.
Yes, like us then.
Makes Ogge's review of this movie sound like praise.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was everything we got, I think.
Yeah, I believe so. So yeah, with that we should see what the next pick is.
And that is my pick. And I've played my cards pretty close to myself this time. So, well, I've been struggling a little bit with making a pick, mostly because I want to talk about around 450 horror movies. So, you know, there are a lot of movies to pick and choose from. So, I've come up with something that I think will tickle your interest, perhaps. So, we are going out into space again.
Fuck yeah.
And we are traveling back to 1981. And we are gonna talk about Norman J. Warren's in Seminoid. The British quote-unquote alien ripoff.
Fair enough.
So that's what's coming up in the next episode.
So, Joseph, are we playing out with anything?
Yes, but I just want to mention something real quick before we play out. YouTube has been, pardon the language, but YouTube has been fucking us up the ass. So we might have to censor the episodes we upload on YouTube. But with that being said, we are now on Mixcloud as well, and I am looking into expanding the podcast to other places as well. I have.
Yeah, we need to sit down and look into maybe expanding it out to Spotify even.
Yeah.
If the possibility is there.
Yeah. But yeah, if you don't hear a song at the end of the episodes, it's just because YouTube is censoring us. But we are gonna play out with Static X Love Dump, which is a personal favorite of mine.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Joseph will dump all the links you will need to find us on other platforms in the description.
Yeah, I will.
So let's wish the good folks a happy Valentine's Day, and we will see them in the next episode, hopefully.
Yeah. Thanks for listening, and hopefully we'll see you in the next episode, and happy Valentine's Day. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye, good people. Thanks for listening.